Hello everyone, it's Diego Doom here. Today I'm bringing you another review. Today I'll be reviewing Storm Fewture Ex-Gokin Getter 3 Repaint version. Now we all know the history of Getter 3. For those of you who do not know, I'll cover that in a later review. But what makes this figure truly spectacular and very unique is the simple fact that this is another piece from Taku Sato's amazing legacy. For those of you who do not know, Taku Sato, also known as Professor Robo, was a famous toy sculptor who was known for creating some very unique and interesting designs based off our favorite classic Super Robot characters. Unfortunately, in 2006, Professor Robo passed away, but he left behind an absolutely amazing legacy of unique and interesting designs based off our favorite classic Super Robot characters. But nonetheless, Storm Fewture Ex-Gokin Getter 3 Repaint version is another fantastic release in the Ex-Gokin line. Getter 3 has a superb sculpt, superb paint applications, superb diecast content, fantastic accessories, and a good range of articulation. So first, let's take a look at Getter 3's box. So now we have Getter 3's box. Initially, this box comes inside of a larger shipping carton that is branded specifically for the Getter 3 figure. Unfortunately, I do not have the shipping carton, so we'll move beyond that. Also, I have pre-removed the plastic bag that covers the inner box here. So, initially we were treated to a very nice black high-gloss finish sleeve here featuring some artwork of Getter 3. So we have Getter 3's head here, half uncovered, the other half covered. Then we also have future models Ex-Gokin, Getter Robot, Getter 3, plus Get Machine Bear repaint version, so very cool here. Sleeve is very nice. Once we pop the sleeve off here, we see the actual box itself, and it has some even more nice artwork here, and this is featuring the inner workings of Getter 3's chest here, so very nice here, and also on the side, there's some branding here as well, so very cool. So we'll go ahead and pop the lid off this box. Now, as always, this box has some weird reverse vacuum suction going on, so kind of bear with me as I pop the lid here on this box. I'm doing this as fast as I possibly can, but it is pretty tough. So we'll get that off and almost got it. There we go. So once we remove the lid, we have two white flaps here. We'll open the flaps and we have the instructions here. So these are kind of upside down here. So we'll get these. So some very nice detailed instructions about the attributes of the Getter 3 figure here. Very cool. And also it's pretty neat, and I hate to spoil it right now, but here it goes. This figure actually has a transformation gimmick here. Yes, this figure actually transforms, so very cool. So look out for that later in this review. Absolutely fantastic and very detailed here, so definitely cool. After the instructions, we'll remove the styrofoam top here, so we'll pop that off. And if Getter 3 was in here, you would see him wrapped in plastic along with the rest of his accessories. So very cool here. And as always, you can tell that Fewture takes the utmost care in packaging our high-end collector's products, and it's very cool there. So, now we have the box out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at Getter 3's accessories. So now we have Getter 3's accessories. Getter 3 comes with a pair of open hands, a pair of articulated hands, 3 sets of Getter medallions, 1 Getter core, 1 Getter energy tube, 1 Get Machine Bear, and 1 stand. So first, let's take a look at the open hands. Now the open hands have a fantastic sculpt as well as a fantastic paint app going on here. A very nice vibrant yellow with a very nice robotic sculpt going on. So this is very nicely done, highly detailed here. And one thing to also note, this knuckle piece here is made out of die cast, so it's very nicely done. Absolutely fantastic here. The next pair of hands that Getter 3 comes with are his articulated hands here. So they have the same great sculpt as well as the same great paint apps going on, but also this claw here is very cool and it's very articulated as well. So this is a very nice claw hand here. So we can bend these fingers and turn these side to side. So definitely very cool here. A very interesting take on Getter 3's alternate hands here. So this is very nicely done. We'll get that in the focus. Pretty cool. Now I kind of wish these fingers were die cast, but it looks like if they were die cast, you would probably get cut up by these. So still very cool. Now how this attaches to Getter 3 is via a ball peg system here. So we'll grab our Getter 3 figure over here. We're going to pull out this fist here, pop that right off, and pop this cap off. Now one thing to note, I would typically call these the classical hands here. To attach these, you're going to need this fist, of course, and then this cap here, and that slots on to his hand and pegs in. But with the claw hands here, you do not need that. You just need to match up with the rest of the links on his arm. So we'll push that in. So this link needs to be out to the side. So we'll push that in as hard as we can. And there we have Getter 3 with his new claw. So this is definitely very cool here. Very nice accessory. The next accessory that Getter 3 comes with is his Getter core here. Now this is the same engine like before here, so a very nice accessory here, a pretty cool sculpt going on. Nice paint apps as well. So very nicely done here. Now how this attaches to Getter 3, We'll grab our hollowed out Getter 3 here, and as you can see, we just push that right in to the empty space in his abdomen. So we'll flip this up and out, and it goes in pretty well. You might have to sit him up a little bit. See if we can get that in there on the first try. Again, putting this core in tends to be a little bit tricky at times. We'll get it as best we can, and there you have it. So pretty cool here. So now Getter 3 is powered up and ready to go. So definitely cool there. The next accessory that Getter 3 comes with is the Getter Energy Tube here. A pretty neat accessory here, so very nice. Very nicely done. Pretty much a clear green tube full of Getter energy, so definitely cool there. How this attaches, we'll grab our Getter 3 figure here, and we actually tip this plain nose down here, and this is the Get Machine Jaguar. Tip that down right there, and we're going to focus that. And all we do is slot the tube inside. Now one thing to mention, you notice there's not a flush cap with this, so it's just one tube, and we slot that in and leave it be. So definitely very cool there. The next accessories that Getter 3 comes with are his 3 sets of Getter medallions here. So we have the first set here, which is the kanji for bear, jaguar, and eagle. So very nice there. And then the next set is the numerical set here. So we have our 1, 2, and 3. And then the final set here is for the Get Machine Bear, and that is the number 3 and the kanji for bear. So definitely very cool here. Now each medallion is die cast. That's very nicely done. So how these attach, we'll spin Getter 3 around, and you have the empty spaces here in his back. So we'll go ahead and peg those in here. And this is pretty simple. You have to adjust Getter 3 just a little bit to have him in the proper position to slot these in. So for Getter 3's configuration, it is 3, and we'll push that in as best we can. 3, and we have our 1. Okay. And then finally 2. So very nice here. Now the number 2 medallion is kind of hard to push in, but so we can get that in there as best we can. And there we go. And this little exhaust tubes kind of fell off right now. It's not a big deal. You just got to slot these back in onto the pegs. So get that on as best we can. Or let's see if we can slot that on. Push this in just like so. So no big deal there. The next accessory that Getter 3 comes with is the Get Machine Bear. Now the Get Machine Bear here is very nicely done and absolutely fantastic accessory going on here. Again, this is one big piece of die cast here, so very cool. Also the boosters are articulated as well, so we can turn these around a little bit and actually click these boosters out to the up and down position, but for mine it seems like it won't go all the way and I don't want to risk breaking this, but still a neat accessory. So we grab our medallions here and we have either the the bear or the numerical number 3. I choose to pick the numbers as always. We're just going to peg that into the top there, and there you have it. So now we have the Get Machine Bear ready to go, but also it comes with another great stand here, and this kind of rests in the stand here. Now we have the Get Machine Bear ready to launch. So definitely very cool. A very nice accessory. I really enjoy these Get Machines that come with the Getter figure. So definitely very cool there. So give me one moment. We'll take a look at the stand. So now we have Getter 3 stand. Now the stand here is pretty much the same great stand with all of our Ex-Gokin figures, so it's very nicely done here. Now as always, I really do wish we had some type of nameplate here for each individual figure, but we do not, so it's okay. So the base here of the stand is actually plastic. The adjustable rod here is die cast. We can adjust that via this knob here. Let's focus that just a little bit. So we adjust this knob and it drops down. Pretty cool there. Also the stand has a very nice forward and back motion here. Pretty cool. As far as the cradle is concerned here, we can actually articulate the cradle as well, so we can turn this all the way up, pretty far down, and left or right. So very nicely done here. One thing you'll notice, this cradle is very unique from the other Getter figures, and we'll demonstrate how this attaches to Getter 3 later in this review. So, now we have the stand out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the Getter 3 figure itself. So now we have the Getter 3 figure itself. Getter 3 has a superb sculpt, superb paint applications, superb diecast content, and a good range of articulation. So first, let's start with the head. So Getter 3 can look left, he can look right, he can look very high up and very far down here, so pretty cool there. Also, the shoulders move in and out ever so slightly. You have a very nice soft ratcheting 360 rotation here in the arms. The arms can also come out a full 90 degrees, so very nice there. Some very nice clicky joints going on. There is a bicep swivel going on here, so pretty cool. But one of the best parts of this figure here is the flexible arms here. So you can bend these arms pretty much every which way, and it does hold its position very well, so very cool there. As we all know, the fists are on our ball peg system here, so they can rotate pretty freely there, so very nice. In Getter 3's chest here, we'll get some focus there, and we'll get some light. Getter 3 can turn left and right pretty smoothly, so very nice there. Then in Getter 3's waist, as you can see, he can move from two different points of articulation here. So the first point being with the Get Machine 2 here, so in this area here, so watch, we can tip him forward right here, and we can tip him up even higher based on this joint back here. So very cool here. So Getter 3 can look very high up or look very far down. So very nicely done here. Now the tank treads here are articulated as well, so very nice here. So we can actually roll Getter 3 as well. So we'll push him forward and back. Very nice. Now this is some pretty stiff rubber, so initially it won't really rotate at first, but once you break it in, it does work very well. So pretty cool there. Now, in terms of sculpt and paint apps, this figure is absolutely fantastic, very vibrant and very well sculpted here. A very nice unique design provided by Professor Robo, so definitely very cool here. Now, one gimmick, just like with the other Getter figures here, Getter 3 has a very nice mechanical face inside. So we'll pull him in very close here, and we will focus a little bit, and we'll zoom in some. So first we're going to pull off the chest piece because it's kind of easier to get to that face. So we'll pull off this chest piece here, if we can get it off there. And then we remove Getter 3's face mask here. Get some more light here so we can see that pretty well. So pop off this face mask here, and now we have a very mechanical and very menacing face for Getter 3. So this is absolutely fantastic and definitely very cool here. This is very nicely done. Very nice. Again, another amazing design by Taku Sato, aka Professor Robo. So this is definitely very cool here. Very nice. A very great sculpt through and through again. A very nice unique design based off our favorite Getter 3. So this is definitely very cool here. Very nice. I'm really impressed with this figure here. So, now we have the Getter 3 figure out of the way. Let's go ahead and take a look at Getter 3's transformation. So now let's take a look at Getter 3's transformation. So we'll bring Getter 3 in close. So first and foremost, you'll notice two flaps part of the Get Machine 2. We open up these flaps. This reveals a lever that actually releases the leg. So this lever right here, we're going to release the lever here, pull it back, and that releases the leg. So pretty cool there. Same thing on the other side. We're going to open this up, pull the lever back here, releases the legs. Next, those two flaps we just now pulled back, we want to spin those around to the back of Getter 3's legs. So we'll get that out of the way, and we'll spin this all the way around. Spin this flap all the way around. Very nice there. Next, what we want to do, we want to flip back the tip of the Get Machine 2. So flip that back all the way between Getter 3's legs. Pretty simple there. Next, what we want to do, we want to finesse the knees so Getter 3 can actually bend his knees in standing mode. So all you have to do is tip this forward and back while pushing in a downward motion, and you should have your knees get in a proper position to where Getter 3 can actually bend them while standing. And the best way to judge this, initially before you finesse the knees, you'll notice this centerpiece here is flush with these two outer pieces. The more you finesse it down, the more there's a gap between the centerpiece and the two side pieces. So just do as best you can. And there you have that. Next we want to do, we want to fold down the feet here. So we're going to tip those down. Pretty cool there. Tip that other one down. And then finally we want to lock this all in place by clicking the heels together. So click and click. So, as you can tell, Getter 3 is actually very tall once he's transformed, so pretty cool. So, give me one moment and we'll take a look at the fully transformed Getter 3 figure, the diecast content, as well as the stand. So now we have the fully transformed Getter 3 figure itself. In this standing mode, Getter 3 is truly impressive. In terms of diecast content, pretty much the entire leg assembly for Getter 3 is diecast. The Get Machine 2 is diecast, the upper chest is diecast, as well as the top of the head. So definitely very cool here. A very nice weighted and hefty piece. So absolutely fantastic there. Also in this standing mode, Getter 3 picks up a couple of extra points of articulation. So we'll bring him in pretty close here, and we will focus. So in the thighs here, get one click of articulation here, so we can spread the legs out just a little bit. Very nice. Also, the upper thighs rotate as well, so we can rotate the legs. Pretty cool there. And the knees do bend. So it's very nice to know that in the standing mode, Getter 3 is actually posable. So definitely very cool. So now let's take a look at the stand here and how the stand attaches to Getter 3. Pretty much the cradle hooks into the Get Machine 2. So we have this nice triangular piece here on the stand. We'll get that all focused. So this hooks in just underneath and at the top of the Get Machine 2. So we'll just push this triangular piece in at the bottom and tighten the top down just a little bit. Put the stand back into place, and we'll pull all this good stuff out of the way really quick. And now we have Getter 3 on his stand. Now, honestly, Getter 3 really doesn't need a stand because in either mode he is very sturdy and very stable, but still very cool. It never hurts to have an extra piece of security with the stand, so if you think this might topple over, which it more likely will not, just equip the stand. Pretty cool there. So, now we have Getter 3's transformation out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at a very special accessory that comes with this figure. The special accessory that Getter 3 comes with is the gigantic double tomahawk for Getter 1. I will review this amazing and gigantic accessory in the next review. So until then, let's go ahead and conclude this review. To conclude the review, Storm Fewture Ex-Gokin Getter 3 Repaint version is another fantastic release in the Ex-Gokin line. Getter 3 has a superb sculpt, superb paint applications, superb diecast content, fantastic accessories, and a good range of articulation. This figure is simply stunning and absolutely fantastic. I honestly feel that everyone owes it to themselves to pick up at least one piece from Professor Robo's amazing legacy. Now, one thing to note, on eBay this figure would be fairly expensive, but something else to mention, never pick up this figure without the gigantic double tomahawk, otherwise sellers will try to sell it to you separately and charge over $100 for it, so do pick this up bundled with the gigantic double tomahawk. And as always, my best advice when it involves eBay and these figures, always hover over eBay until this figure pops up for the lowest price possible. This has been another review by Diego Doom. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more figure reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe.